Howdy. I know I look beat. It has been a long couple days. Weekend, I guess it's Monday. It's the end of Monday now. But it's been a long day. It's been a long time. I'm feeling incredibly blessed right now. I've been like through a roller coaster of emotions today. But also just like this entire weekend. And I kept feeling this like heaviness trying to get me down, like I have been before when I start to feel some type of way. And I just kept saying, like, that's not going to help anything. And I'm not going to give it that energy. I'm not going to validate that things are bad. They just look away right now, but like that's just an illusion. I trust that things are working out for my greatest good and that things are actually turning around and that things are getting significantly better. And man, today was wild. Today was really wild, but like I'm at the end of the day now and I'm really feeling how things are turning around. It felt so sticky, for the last few days. And even just a moment ago, like I'm thinking about it now, I didn't notice because I've maintained this energy, but like even just a moment ago was an opportunity for me to kind of validate some negativity that I normally probably would be given to. And like I'm just thinking about it now because I didn't even let it faze me. So that's a great sign that things are, they are getting better. It's a shame. It's a shame that things are so many of the ways that they are, but I'm trusting in better. People are getting extremely good at deceiving, at lying, at not being truly honest with themselves, at doubling down on, what has served them. And I was just like, even talking to my boss this morning about it, where I was like, we're in a time right now where like, it's so easy to believe that like, man, if all these people who are lying and cheating and stealing and, not actually working for things and, are able to throw others under the bus or manipulate others and stuff like that. And like, they're all benefiting. Like, why am I even trying to still do right? Why am I even still doing my best? What does it really mean? Maybe I should just completely fold and give in to the way of the world and, start just doing what everybody else is doing, which is lying, being hypocritical, putting it all on somebody else, whether it be a family member, a partner, a job, a religious figure, blaming others. Well, that's because I'm a woman. That's because I'm white. That's because I was raised Christian. Like, it'd be easy for me to do those things, and it's not that I haven't done those things in the past or that I don't still even struggle with a tendency to be that way, but like more and more and more and more, I am working to not let anything else take my power and to not fall back into any sort of like blame game, excuse making, because that isn't the power. That isn't the power that is being bestowed upon us right now. And those that are claiming this false power, even if it looks really good to some people, like, those people don't know themselves. Obviously, because I already know these people and I know what they do and what they believe. And it's like, okay, so I have to just trust that like these things are all with a purpose and that like the same people swearing that, everything's about Jesus and, it's not about trying to be popular on social media are selling their family members out and, doing whatever they can to be popular on social media. Where like, there's no genuine aspect of who they really are. They've completely sold out to these concepts, and now they're just reiterating these concepts. And I'm sure they feel quite like I do. You know, I'm not trying to judge. This is me being judgmental. I just don't. I felt like for the last few days, especially, like just a lot of heaviness and a lot of like things coming up against me to try to like get me to cave in. And like what I was telling my boss this morning was, I was like, you know, we're going through this weird paradigm shift where like, if it can get you to fall short, if it can get you to cave in, if it can get you to like, you know, be some way that you aren't truly, even if it appears super, super good by comparison, but it's not real, it's going to. And it's going to do that because all of these people need to conglomerate on top of this wheel in order for it to shift down, because the heaviness is going to be at the bottom. And all of these people who decided to sell out thinking that was going to be best are going to be left on the bottom, while all of those who maintained and held true to themselves are going to come on top. So like, you know, and it's going to look different. And I'm not trying to be in this attitude of like, I know what that's going to look like, and I know that I'm going to recognize everybody there. Like, I'm sure I'm going to be quite surprised myself, quite surprised with those who actually remained true. Especially because I'm more and more aware that like we have been living in this state of illusion. And like, so many people are given to it, and it just... I don't know. I help those I help, and that's sufficient. You know, I help myself. I just try to do my best. That's literally all I can do. It is very confusing, and it's kind of one of those things like that's been weird, because like ever since I lost my dogs, I've found myself like actively suppressing in a way that I never have before, but also just like, I mean, I think about them a lot, and I cry about them almost every time I think about them. And so like I in part try not to think about it, but I also like let myself feel the way. You know, I want to cry a little bit, I cry a little bit. I don't have a problem with it, but like I also like am not going to sit and harp on certain things, or like let certain emotions take up residence in my heart space. You know, I'm trying to just let that shit go. It's gone. That's it. I have memories, you know, but like in the same way, like it's so strange, because like I've just been feeling a lot. I mean, I guess that's what it is, right? You know? It's a strange one, because like I think everybody's go-to is to have this buildup of energy in order to have a come down. And like that's kind of been the state of things forever, but like that's not what I'm being called to do right now, is to be where I'm at, which is technically on top, although it doesn't look like it doesn't feel like it, but like it is. And I'm not talking about like on top of like society, or on top of like status, you know, the status quo, or on top of like what other people can validate that way. I'm being asked to hold my position, not to drive myself forward so that I can feel that, you know, like when you're going up a hill and then you anticipate that feeling of being able to come down. It's not about that. it's not about that right now. And what everybody else is feeling, this dupers, right? Dupers glee. That's what it's like, is that feeling of coming down. And it feels so exciting, and it feels like that's what everything was building up towards, was to be able to, like, have that drop. So everybody's just feeling like everything's so great. But I know what's at the bottom of that hill. I've already been there. I ain't trying to go there again. And it was the whole thing this past weekend, because it was like all of these things adding up to where it's like, damn, this energy feels like it's absolutely trying to sabotage me. Like, but I was like, I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm not going to let it get to me. And so I didn't. And, you know, I'm still having to fight it. Man, I'm really not a fan of it, I tell you what. It's what it is, I suppose. I'm going to set this up so that I can, okay, I can do it like this. No, shit. Maybe like, no. Because my battery is about to die. Where am I at? Guess it should be sufficient for a video. Sorry, I know this is all terribly unflattering. I didn't even shower today. I showered this morning, but I didn't shower after an incredibly long day. Okay. This is what we're working with. We have life. Came out in the upright. The Milky Way in the upright. Star in the upright. And Earth in the upright. I'm obviously overwhelmed. I already hate this video, I'm sorry. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I just want to trust that being as genuine as possible is... it's real in a world of so much fake. It's so fake. It's so fake. These people use Jesus and these deep concepts just to try to promote their own opinions. They don't even get what it's about. They're so not real. They swear that all these other people are out here searching for validation from strangers when they don't even care for their own families. They swear that they do because it hurts their feelings to look in that mirror. But when their own family members are actually in need, well, they're only there when it's convenient for them. They're only there when it makes them look like good people. But you can't have the real talks with them. Do they even know what's really going on behind those closed doors? I don't think that they do. And whose fault is that? The doors? life, the Milky Way, star, Earth. I watched a video today of this 13-year-old physicist who is probably 18 or 19 now. He actually goes to the University of Wisconsin. And brilliant child, young man now. Obviously he was trained well. He was allowed to become educated, but he was also allowed to think for himself. And that's something that is so profound to me to see, because often what we see when children are really good at math or really good at science is that they're really good at reiterating information, right? And it's not that that isn't what this boy was great at, because he is, but it was coming from his own person. It was his own actual thoughts about things. Yes, he was extremely well educated, more than the average individual, more than a very, more than most. But he was so educated, but he was also brilliant. He was educated enough that and brilliant enough that when he communicated things, he was conveying these concepts that he himself truly thinks about and processes and is coming up with these different ideas for. And he had invented an energy device in order to try to harness electromagnetic energy in order to create electrical currents that could be used for appliances and shit, but a way to actually harness an electromagnetic energy in order to, he's trying to create a free energy, essentially, because that's something that's available all around us. It's being, it's the vibrations of things. Brilliant. And I'm sure that his parents are deeply involved in what he does. At the same time, he likely is some sort of pariah, where he kind of took the concepts that were already being stimulated within him and was able to make the most of them in a way that I don't know if his parents even had anticipated for, But you could tell in the way he was being interviewed in this video, and you could tell by the questions and the way that he was answering them that it was organic, and that he truly did understand these incredibly complex concepts and equations, and that he understood them. He didn't just know them, wasn't just educated about them, wasn't just reiterating information. He genuinely understood them in a way that he'd incorporated them into his very being, and now is putting them out. And he called himself a change maker. And to hear a 13-year-old little kid, he's prepubescent, and it's so incredible to see and to hear that coming from out of the mouth of babes, a change maker. And I was raised in Christianity, in a weird form of Christianity that, was pretty adamant that change is progressivism, and progressivism is demonic. And so, inevitably, we're forcing and pushing for maturity, but we're stopping maturity at change. We're creating narcissists is what we're doing. Well, at least I'm saved by grace. At least I'm saved by Jesus, And now I can go and push my beliefs onto others, and if they believe what I believe, now they're saved too. Yeah, that's narcissism, bud. That's narcissism, very thinly veiled as empathy. There's no empathy in it. There's no empathy in it. When I actively wanted to kill myself, maybe 2 out of every 20 Christians that I ever knew could actually be there for me in my time of need. Nobody was there when I was getting abused by my family. Nobody cared. Nobody still cares. They believe my family over me, even though what they tell them about me is a lie. My family compares me to my drug addict cousin, and compares her to me, making us both as sick as possible, if they can. And the fact that I don't take it makes me the bad guy. Because they love me so much. All they're trying to do is get close to me. All they're trying to do is be my friend. All they're trying to do is have me around, help me out and take care of me while they actively are robbing me. Of course, they don't tell anybody that. Me saying that is just a lie, but look at the paperwork. Good Christians. No, the good Christians I know have been honest. Truly honest. They didn't just accept Jesus and then get to hide from the fact that they were sexual predators. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. The best Christians I've ever known are people that admitted that they had struggled in their lives with different things, and they were falling in total humility before Christ in order to be saved from those things and in order to be claimed as something. And it wasn't so that they could then go on and preach about how great they were. It wasn't so that everybody could believe their opinions. It wasn't so that they could gain favor with all of these people they swear they're not trying to gain favor with. It wasn't so that the world could see them as a light in the world as they sit there and preach about how they're not actually trying to get people to look at them. The hypocrisy. No, an honest person could at least admit when they were being a hypocrite. It's not a fun thing to accept, but it is the reality. We all tend to be it. Only those that pretend to be so righteous end up being truly hypocritical. And then we act like the truth isn't what all of this is for, what all of this is about. It's about you getting to heaven. No, it fucking ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. And good luck. Because Satan is the father of lies. By your own standards, you're not going to get to heaven. And if you really need all of that just to be a decent person, how decent are you really? If you need to tell people constantly, if you need to shove it down people's throats, if you can't just be who you really are every day, day in and day out, if you have to promote these different types of ideas, if you can't embrace your shadow, like, how decent are you really? Truly. Going to church every Sunday doesn't make you a good person. Reading your Bible, but not ever living that way. No, you do live that way, you're right. You shelter your kids, you do the right thing. You know, you're all doing drugs, engaging in sexual promiscuity, but, you know, it's fine as long as you're married, or it's fine as long as nobody else hears about it, or it's fine as long as you keep it in the family. But I'm the devil for making jokes about it. I'll literally... This isn't what I want this to be about. You see how easily this energy just takes over? I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it. I also don't want to have to constantly distract myself in my life just to run from it, just to not have anything to do with it. I want to be able to exist without having the weight of someone else's world on my shoulders. I'm not a mother. I'm not a Christian. I don't hold myself to those standards for a reason. I'm not trying to bring that shit down. I mean, the things I've admitted to, and for them to act like I'm just out here lying is insane. Because they can post nice pictures. It's like, yeah, I was trying to kill myself at that exact time in my life. Who was there for me? No, I had to feign being happy because that was all that I knew. I don't walk around with a perpetual smile anymore. But I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm contented. I don't have to smile to be happy. That's the difference. I'm contented. Actually contented in my soul. I don't need to go to church every week and say a whole bunch of Hail Marys and lie to a whole bunch of church folk about who I really am in order to feel okay about myself. That's the difference. I don't need to cheat and rob and lie about it in order to keep a roof over my head. I work. I'm a decent person. When I can't fully cover things, I'm honest about it. And I work those things out. And I do what I can to work those things out. And that's why it works for me. Because I'm honest. Because I'm hardworking. Because I actually care about people. And just what a twisted world when those that were supposed to be so close to me, who haven't known me in the last 10 years plus, at all, still have some claim over me and other people's opinions over me. Those people call me a name I haven't been called in 10 years, except by 2 people, 3 people, okay, maybe 5 people, but I don't even talk to 2 of them. That I haven't been called in 10 years, more than 10 years, almost 15 years, 15 years. But they know me better than anybody, huh? Again, those people don't change. They're still just as wicked as ever. Learned how to hide it better. Kind of. No, they just lucked out that in today's world, the Kardashians and Donald Trump can be considered good Christians. And that's the standard that they're fighting for. And falling for. And again, I'm the bad guy because I choose to stand alone. Because I practice my faith in a way that they don't understand and that they've already predetermined as evil. When I was close with the pastor's wife and when she was discipling me, she knew about my struggles with sex addiction. She knew that I smoked pot. She knew all of those things about me. And then my mom gets involved and gets close to her and pushes me out while she gets close so that she can be that person. But she lies. The pastor's wife never knew anything about my mom or what she's capable of or what she does behind closed doors. But I'm the bad guy. I don't mean to continue to go on about these things, but it blows my mind, and it's been on my mind a lot lately. As I've been feeling all these things, all I can feel is like, and these people sleep well at night? The fact people like this can even exist just... I'm struggling with that. Sorry to keep going back to that, but that kid, that video that I watched with that kid, incredible. I don't think my family would even appreciate it. But that kid blew my mind. I wrote him an email. I found his email and wrote him an email because I was just so moved. So thankful that somebody like that exists in this world. So thankful to be alive during the time that someone like that exists. Because he's so young, and it gives me hope. It inspires me for the future, which I already cultivate with inside of myself, but to actually see it. And that's why I was so blessed today. Because despite everything, I still saw these little glimmers where it's like, oh, we're getting there. I know that we are. So all this heaviness, it's bullshit. And that's fine. And it's fine for me to feel it even, but I don't need to cling to it. And I'm not trying to. In that video, the kid had mentioned the Milky Way being the fingerprint of God. God being the ultimate source energy. He spoke all of the things I believe, that I've come to myself. And to hear somebody else speaking on those things the way that he did, so eloquently and quite educatedly, is just such an insane blessing, because I'm watching these things manifest. I know that the things that are in my heart are true. And I see them coming to life in the world today. And it has not been without a whole bunch of struggle and a whole bunch of pain and a whole bunch of confusion. There's so much I still don't understand, and so much I still don't know, and so much that is still yet to be seen, but I see it. I see it growing. I see these seeds that I've planted growing. And I wasn't trying to plant them in, my personal, intimate family so that I could always maintain a personal, intimate family. That was the difference. I realized that I could do greater than that. I didn't stay at a facility working for 30 clients because I realized that I could help hundreds of people instead of just a few dozen. And I got my clients' blessings through those things too. It's always been some of the greatest things. It's always been the most random people that have come up and given me support. And I couldn't have asked for it, and I didn't expect it, and I just kept my head down and kept doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can't even get that from my own family yet. And then I have a client who can't even get that from their own family. They tell me, you're an angel. You're my angel. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. But I understand that you have more work to do that's not here. And I send you with my blessing. An old pastor that had lost his faith when he got Alzheimer's, that found it rekindled by the way that I cared for him. You can't tell me that doesn't mean something. It is continuously hard to not have a close relationship with my family. It is something so innate within us as people to have that. The fingerprint of God, like the Milky Way. What he was saying is that any galaxy has all of these different ellipses are, of planets on their axis around whatever star it is that is holding them. And then it ends up looking just like a fingerprint, but it's the fingerprint of God, and it's all energetic. That's how we're connected. That's how we're connected. That right there, just like a fingerprint. In the hand of God, always. But the thing about God is that it isn't just the Milky Way, the galaxies, the void of space. My brother doesn't even believe that space is real. And you don't have to. You don't even have to believe in God. Because God is so much bigger than even that. God isn't just the galaxies. God isn't just the star we revolve around, the thing that gives us life, the thing that allows for creation to exist the way that it does. Creation, life exists even beyond that, right? Not just the earth. You know, it goes to the earth, to the star, to the Milky Way galaxy, to life itself. Right in order. And then right back as it breaks down. I don't know how many people will ever hear this. And I don't know how many of those people that ever hear this will be able to relate to any of this, you know. I don't really hope that a lot do. But I do hope that any that do find solace in knowing that you're not alone. You're not alone. Things are so much bigger and beautiful. Things are so much bigger and more beautiful than they seem. You know, and in the same way that these things build up on themselves and build down, that we go from Earth to stars, to galaxies themselves, to life as a whole, and then break it back down into us, you can see that in life, in the reflection of life, the palm of the hand with the 3 trees, it's life. In the palm of the hand with the 3 flowers. Your life matters. You don't have to be a brilliant prodigy child. Like, I don't know even how to explain this, kid, but you don't have to be an actual genius to get it. You don't have to be, you know, beautiful or soft or even well-grounded to be valid. You don't even have to revolve around the same star in order to experience the truth of things, in order to have value. You don't even have to be in this galaxy. Life itself speaks of something so much greater than these. It's okay to feel the real. It's okay to reach for something so much greater. It's okay to be completely lost. You're still part of life. You exist. You're right here, right now. And that is so incredibly important. I'm sorry if your family doesn't appreciate that. I'm sorry if past partners haven't been able to see that and validate that for you. I'm sorry for all of the people that tried to bring you down and make you feel like you were anything less valuable than you truly are, but you truly are. I'm saying this to you from me, from my heart, who has learned to cultivate this within myself. Like, you are valuable. You are so essential to this life, to this world, to this universe, to this very existence. You, exactly as you are, right in this moment. You don't have to do anything more, to be anything more, to be worthy. You are worthy exactly as you are. Exactly as you are. You don't have to prove anything to any of these people. You don't even have to prove anything to yourself. There's nothing to prove. You exist. You're proving it just by being. I am in my feminine cycle, and maybe that's why I'm so emotional, and I apologize for it, but I do hope that these things resonate with you. Sorry for the TMI, but it's true. But I digress. I do hope that these things mean something to you. You don't just feel like you're wasting your time. You're not just watching this to judge me like I mean anything. You know, I mean what I mean to myself. Mean what you mean to yourself. Don't worry about what other people think. It's not always easy, especially when we're talking about family, friends, people that you grew up with, people that, you know, like someone had just said when I was talking to them that, like, it's hard when you share DNA with these people and you look at yourself in the mirror and you see them in you and yourself in them, but you're so different. It is hard. I feel that. That's okay. That's the beauty of everything, you know? Right now we're in a weird time in the world where everybody just wants to fit in so bad. Not even with the world, even just with each other. Everybody's clinging to these little groups and standards and belief systems. Those things won't save you. Only you can do that by not damning yourself. Please be aware that when you damn others, you're damning yourself. It's so hard, and that's the negativity I keep getting caught up on with my family, because, like, I'm hurt, and hurt people, right? Like, there's this part of me that, in being hurt, wants to validate that they're in the wrong for it, and maybe they're not in the right for it. Maybe it'll bring them negative karma, I don't know. But there's plenty of ways that I'm just that way. You know, it's not, there isn't right or wrong like that. We really have to move away from those concepts because they're not serving us. They're not serving us. Are they bringing us closer to love? Are they bringing us closer to each other? We are God. Are they bringing us closer to God? Are they dividing us? Are they giving us reasons to judge each other? I'm just as guilty as anyone else for these things. In my struggling to forgive, struggling to release and to let go, my desire is to still try to prove myself I'm no different. So I don't mean to be up on some high horse. Like, I'm not just making an ass of myself, you know, because that's ultimately what it does. We're all equal. Every single person is just a reflection of ourselves. Just another figment in the mind of God. Another pigment on the spectrum of the rainbow of light, vibrating at their own unique frequency. And the frequency of the universe is changing. The music of the spheres is what it's called, the music that the universe makes as it vibrates. It's all coming together. We're all realizing our part in it. And the more and more that we realize it, the more connected it becomes. We're waking up. The universe is waking up to itself through us. I believe that. I'm seeing it happen. I'm excited for it, despite all odds. Yes, it feels like a roller coaster. Yes, that is extremely exhausting. Yes, I'm very tired. But I am excited. I'm not just going to go back to sleep. I've been up this entire time. I couldn't go back to sleep if I wanted to. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to be awake for this. I know this is a weird reading. I always get weird when I get really emotional. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I know that if it can serve me at all, and particularly if it serves me well, then it can also serve others well. Because I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not an island. I know I ain't so special, Not like that. So, I thank you for listening. Again, I really do hope that these things bless you. I wouldn't want you taking up 48 minutes of your time if it weren't for good use. So I pray that you do put this to good use and that it serves you in the end. Regardless of how weird it's been. I don't know what it is that you could get out of it, but I hope it's something good, or at least something true. And thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the time and energy that anyone that happens upon these videos takes to watch them, to engage with them, to process them at all. Yeah. May we all continue to bless each other with our own existence. Love yourself. Give yourself some extra love today. You deserve it just for existing. You don't have to earn it. All right. I love you, and I will see you soon.